Okay. So this is a continuation. The group was on a long hiatus for the Sandpoint Chronicles. If you remember last time, the group got in a fight and were ambushed by a group of kobolds as they make their way to find out why there was I guess you say, adventuring band or kobold miners under a collapsed wizard's tower. We're going to continue our combat, or from at least what it seems to be the aftermath of the combat. Jean is currently hurt. I'll show you Jean, which you know is a Nybor City Guards captain, and Yuri is entangled by a frog. As Garlemon sludges his way through the swamp in order to chase after the druid. And the druid actually is starting to run off and disappears, Garlemon. You see before you, Garlemon, one kobold and a frog grappling Yuri.
The spider in front of us is dead, right? I remember that happening.
There's no X for the spider, so I'm going to assume the spider is still up.
No, Mars. Okay.
So everyone roll initiative. Garlemon's on 6. We got Aloysius on the map. And now we are waiting for Aloysius at 21. Don't know why it didn't show Aloysius. But you have 21 there. Okay, put my spider. What's my initiative? 2, 3. Okay. So, this kobold. Here we go. We're going to continue combat. Okay, Jean is on the ground, Garlemon. You see that? We're going to have Jean and Yuri's tied up in a tree. You see this kobold try to lash out and hit Yuri as he is being grappled by this frog.
It's Aloysius first. You haven't ordered it.
Hold up. Actually, it is my turn. I rolled a 22 for this kobold. I'm just trying to find the right. Okay. He's going to swing. He's going to have 2-weapon fight. So 8 misses, 20 hits. And he is going to deal 3 damage to Yuri. Aloysius, what would you like to do?
Aloysius looks terrible. I'm going to 5-foot step behind Marius. And then fire at the spider.
If I remember, the problem was like all the gray areas is difficult terrain, so you can't 5-foot step.
If I can't 5-foot step and fire, I just want to move behind Marius. I'm injured.
You still can move. You just can't 5-foot step.
Okay, well then that's just gonna be my move. I can move.
But remember, if you move, you're gonna be leaving his threatened square.
Roll acrobatics.
Okay.
Well, you can roll acrobatics. You can take the withdraw action if you just don't want to take anything you want to attack this turn, though. Or you can just risk it.
I just want to get the hell away from the spider.
So just take the withdraw action. Don't risk it.
Okay.
The spider
That's
hisses as its prey moves out the way.
That's what I'm gonna do. Move over here.
Okay.
That'll be your whole turn.
Okay.
Okay. Bella Blightthorn.
Alright, I'll just take a standard action. I'll take a standard touch attack against it with my poison.
Is that a type opportunity? Or do you? I mean, or because you don't have.
No,
improved?
this is just a touch attack. It gets to make a fortitude save, but that should hit its touch AC. Especially.
Yeah, it does.
Alright. You make a fortitude save for it?
Okay.
That fails.
Okay.
It takes 3 damage to start with, and it has the bleeding condition on it.
Okay. Marius, I believe. I don't have my pad guy. You know what? We'll just start. It's fine. So 3 damage. You said what? Tell me the second part again.
It has the bleed condition on it.
Okay, I need to get.
So at the start of its turn, it will bleed for 1d6 damage.
Got to get new notepad, guys. Okay. You did how much damage again? Sorry. 5?
It's 3 damage, and then it bleeds for 1d6 every turn.
Okay. Thank you. Okay.
You were in the midst of asking about Marius. Is there anything you were needing there?
No, I think it's Garlemon, and then Garlemon. Remember, you are now like in water up to around your neck.
Okay, well, I'll move and attack the frog.
Okay. That hits. Let me see. You're going to hit the frog, Garlemon.
Yep.
And you deal. Okay, I see your damage. And since this was already hit, the frog lets out a yelp, or I don't know what, I guess you say it, whatever frogs they make, and will fall and start sinking and releases Yuri from his tongue's grasp. Okay, now the spider, it will still engage Marius here.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to attack. You see the spider start to reach out. He takes his front 4 legs on each side and rears back, hissing at Marius.
At the start of its turn, it takes another 6 damage. 3 from the poison, 3.
Okay. Okay. And tries to attack Marius with a bite attack.
Okay.
It hits you. It seems like it hits you, Marius, but it seems that you didn't put enough strength because it is weakened by your comrade's poison. And you brush it off. Now to Marius Tobin, No Man's Son of Sandpoint.
So, I rolled a hit there.
Marius is going to. I forgot how to put X's on things. Put an X on the spider, please. As the spider hisses again and falls to its back. Okay. The swamp kobold. That's going to sees Yuri's on the ground. Is going to see this new threat and attack Garlemon. That's 1 attack misses. 15 misses you too, even though you're in water. I think that's a minus. Was that -4 AC? Bella, quote me on that.
I mean, I'm not swimming.
He's not prone or anything. The only thing he could possibly have is a height advantage, which is a +2 to hit. But no, Garlemont's AC tank, you're not going to hit him with that.
Okay, so it misses. So now we're going to go back up to Aloysius.
I am going to move around this way and monitor the situation.
Okay. Would you like to make a perception check to see if you can see anything?
Yep.
You see the kobold from earlier that led you kind of this way from the last part of the forest. You still can see blood fresh on his shield. It looks like your blood, Aloysius, for being, this is the one that hit you. And you see that he retreats more into the forest until he is no longer seen.
I'm going to alert the group and say, one's getting away.
Will that be into your turn?
Yes.
Bella.
Okay. 10 feet of movement, 15 feet of movement, 20 feet of movement. And then I'm just going to blast the guy with my gun. That's touch AC. Don't know if it hits, but it's whatever.
Okay. Now we are going to bullet. Okay. Touch AC and you hit that guy. So unfortunately, Bella, his touch AC is higher than that. So as you fire your bullet, you miss completely.
Yeah, I imagine like I took a step forward to like point my gun at it, and then I just sunk further into the mud that I wanted to, and just blasted into the dirt.
That's a good description. Garlemon, seeing Bella's bullet miss, what would you like to do? Garlemon tries to hit the kobold and misses. Believe it or not. Seeing Yuri on the ground, seeing Garlemon in front of him, he is going to attack Yuri twice. Yuri's prone. He hits Yuri's touch AC.
Wait, why is it touch AC?
Not touch AC. It hits his prone AC. Excuse me. This guy gets a +4. It's +2.
Doesn't.
This guy, you get a +4 if someone's prone, right?
Yeah, I just remember Yuri having like actually really good AC.
No. Yuri's AC, I think, is 18.
Then neither would have hit because it's a 17 and a 10.
No, 13 +4. Oh, 17, you're right. My bad. I can't do math, apparently. So, X-nay on that. My apologies, guys. So, he misses twice. He misses a prone Yuri twice. Wow. Now it is... Come on, man. Your turn, Marius. I know you're all the way over there, man.
Okay. So what is it? This over here is still rough terrain, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to, what is it, 10, 20, 30, 40. Did we get a direction of where that kobold went, Aloysius?
I would like to just kind of point in that general direction. He went over there.
Kind of up that way. Okay, so I'm gonna double move then. So what's that? That's another. Oh, that's not what I'm trying to do here. Go here. I'll move that far up, and assuming I don't see him,
Unfortunately,
am I able?
you make a perception check to see if you can see
Okay.
him. You don't see the creature, but you do see tracks in the ground.
Okay.
Now, on your next round, if you make a survival check, you can to see the way they're going.
Okay. Awesome.
Okay. Now it is my turn again.
With who?
I went out of turn, didn't I? Yeah, my apologies. Well, I went out of turn. Aloysius, it's your turn.
Okay, I want to step up here and fire at this guy.
Okay. Good attack.
Yeah, I have good rolls tonight.
You see that he has been weakened, and on that attack, as you release your bow, as you release your arrow from your bow, you hit the kobold in a well-calculated place arrow that pierces between his eye, through his frontal cortex into his brain, and he falls on the ground, squirming. It seems that as a couple moments go by, he starts to move again, but you know that that is just a reaction of his nerves in his body.
Good. After dropping him, that's going to be my turn.
Okay, so from what the group sees, combat has ended.
Is both Jean and Yuri unconscious?
Yes, Yuri is unconscious from what you see.
Okay. Jean's not, though.
Jean is hurt and was gravely wounded.
Okay. I'll go ahead and rush over to my brother, taking one of my potions out of my backpack and just pouring it down his throat.
You pour the potion down his throat, and he doesn't seem to be responding to the potion. So you're having to take your hand and massage his throat to get the potion down. You've seen his breaths start to become a little more rapid, but they're still very far and few between.
I healed him for 12.
Yep.
Okay, I'm back.
Is he conscious? Is he
He's still unconscious.
He took more than 12 damage unconscious? Okay. I guess I'll go into my packet and take out an actual potion of cure moderate wounds then.
Okay, well that's your turn. I know we're kind of out of combat. Does anybody else want to do anything? So what we see, Garlemon, Marius, as everybody is around, well, Marius, you're up there. Are you coming back, Marius? Or are you going to stay there?
I was going to see if I could pick up the tracks and get
Okay.
a bit of a direction before I head
Go
back.
ahead and make a survival check. So, that's a good roll. So you notice that the steps kind of panders off. You go up a little distance, not too far away from the group.
Okay.
Still checking your area. I'm gonna let your good roll, your perception check roll. You notice a trap, you sidestep it. And there's another kobold trap, you sidestep it. You notice that the road the swamp becomes, it seems like a dirt road. It definitely seems, I wouldn't say man-made, but it does seem to be artificial, not naturally occurring. You see pebbles,
So,
hard stone.
like a game trail, or
Yeah,
if
game
the
trail.
kobolds are
Yeah.
consistently using it, it's just okay, cool.
Oh, yeah, but you see that something has made an attempt to put some type of road in the middle of the swamp.
Okay.
Which is odd. And it seems like it's going northeast. Okay.
Okay, I'll head back to the group and then I'll relay what I've found. So
Upon going
Good
back to the
job,
group,
Marius.
you see a Bella healing Yuri, but you notice that he is breathing very far between. You can see that his wounds have been magically healed with a potion. Garlemond, you notice this too. Aloysius, you do as well.
Can I roll a heal check to try to check him out?
Mm-hmm. Aloysius, you notice that this looks all too familiar. You haven't seen this. You've seen this before, and it's been quite some time. It looks like this is, for some odd reason, Yuri looks like he's contracted the plague.
Oh no, this doesn't look good.
You notice,
Okay.
you notice that this seems to be some of the things that Broderick and Hannah was dealing with when you first arrived here at Sandpoint.
Oh wow. Okay.
Do you tell me that?
Um, geez, I'm conflicted as to whether I should mention that to his sister or not. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and mention that it looks like the same plague they had in Sandpoint.
Alright. Alright. I'll try to give him the one vial of, like, anti-plague that I bought. Basically, he gets to make another fortitude save against whatever the fuck this thing is at a +5. And he owes me a shit ton of money.
Okay. What did you give him?
Anti-plague. It's an alchemical item. I got it when we were at the shop. When I was buying all the fucking things, I marked it down. Give me a second. I'll go on to Nephis and link it to you.
Got you. He does seem to respond. He's not sweating profusely, but it does. But he's not woken up. But he's still not responding to noise. But he is responding to like a painful stimuli, such as you taking your knuckles, or Mari's taking his knuckles and touching, like being rough on his collarbone. If that makes any sense.
oh, I'm very aware of what you're explaining. Yep. So are we doing the pinching of the collar as well and everything else?
I was incorrect. It's not one save +5. It's 2 saves total, and he gets to take the better of them. So whatever his fortitude bonus is, I don't actually know because I don't have access to a sheet.
Well, he's a wizard. So let me go.
He is a wizard. He just fights with the sword for some reason.
Um, Goodness gracious, Yuri, where you at, boy? Down here at the bottom. There we go. Okay. It's a good roll. Okay.
That is a really good roll, yeah.
He has a +8 to his fortitude save.
No, +5 because of the anti-venom, the anti-plague.
No. Like I said, it makes you roll twice.
Yeah. I just added the 5 on the last one, and then I rolled another one.
Yeah. No, like it doesn't get the +5 bonus. It makes you look. It's +5 if you aren't infected. If you are infected, you roll twice.
Oh, really? So I'm just gonna take 5, so subtract it from that then.
So it's 16.
Yeah, so two
So it's the
16s.
same roll.
Same
So
roll.
it
Okay.
works still, but
Yeah.
just wanted to make sure.
I got you. Thank you for that correction. Yep, that's what happens. Um. Yep.
All right. I'll go over to Gene, and start healing him as well. Give him the second of 5 potions, and just like
I'll
sprinkle it
save a
over
few
his
of those
face.
for Aloysius.
I got a greater one in
You
store for you.
see Gene. Gene is being healed, but you see that he sustained a pretty horrible wound in the face. He's bleeding pretty profusely from his mouth and tongue, and when you go to expect him bellow, you see that part of his tongue is gone.
Mm. I'll fix that eventually. Just not right now. And then just like sprinkle it over his face as like the wounds on his face start to like slowly like stitch together and like start to scar.
His tongue is not regrowing at the moment, but you do see that making
Yeah,
an effort. Yeah.
yeah. I'll say, Gene, I'm not sure I feel comfortable continuing with you on this mission, nor do I think my brother is capable of it. Could you possibly take him back to town and keep him safe?
Now, what does the group want to do with that? Because at the end of the day, um,
If your brother has the plague, we can't send him back to town.
He doesn't have the plague, I just cured him.
If your potion could have cured the plague, we probably wouldn't have lost a third of a town to it.
We would have needed a few cases of that.
You didn't have me. You needed more than one case of it, and each one cost 50 fucking gold. It's expensive. None of which are the resources you had. So
Yeah,
yes,
I
I
still
cured
don't.
him.
I don't believe that he's cured of this plague. We had a very well trained alchemist in that town, and it took books written by people older than all of us combined to barely treat it. And you think some
Yes,
store bought potion's gonna handle it?
it's not some store-bought fucking potion, it's shit from my family. Also,
So
the
you're gonna take
supplies that I
responsibility
brought to
if the
her
town
were useful to her.
if the
Gunnaman, I
town
don't...
gets plague, you're gonna take responsibility.
Sure, fine, fuck it, whatever. Just get my brother out of here.
What does that do? That guarantee means nothing.
Exactly.
Do we just carry him around and hope he stabilizes out here in the marsh?
I could use a good night's rest somewhere, somehow.
I promise you I will heal you. I need my brother to leave the vicinity so he doesn't fucking die. I need Gene to leave the facility because he isn't much of fighting order anymore.
Well, are we gonna escort them back to the boat?
so that's gonna be escort them back to the boat. It's gonna be a day. It took you guys a day to get this far. Um, yeah, it took you a day to get here.
I would suggest a green kobold friend do that since we're going to be dealing with them in the front lines and moving deeper. We already have the tracks thanks to Marius's lovely work.
We at
Right
least
now,
have
time is of the essence, but we
we have
can't.
we have a direction we can go. If we want to be laden with those that are injured, we can double back. But at the same time, we are also on a time crunch. I can't guarantee I'm willing to stand around and wait when we still have to get back to Sandpoint.
Yeah, because the shit's moving faster than we thought.
I mean, I'm not exactly comfortable sending non-combatants to guard our injured friends to a boat that they're gonna have to wait around at.
The bastard fought us, and I don't think they're gonna wait at the boat. I said take him to town. Let
So what
someone else
if
come
we
back.
need to leave?
If we need to leave, we're gonna be dead anyways. We can't outrun everything in this marsh.
This seems reckless.
Especially not you. Yes, this entire fucking plan was reckless. We headed off into the woods to fight some fucking kobolds and exterminate them.
Well, you have a point.
No part of this has ever been planned out. The way we fight together has never been planned out. We all just fuck around and do our own things. We need some actual, like, synergy with each other. Because at this point, we're all going to fucking die. And I've been trying my best to, like, cover the bases. Make sure Maya stays safe. Make sure Aloysius stays safe. Make sure everyone else stays safe. But you guys are all spreading out too thin, covering combat areas far too wide for everyone else to interfere and actually work together.
Let's get out of this swamp and then we can do some team building.
We have some fucking kobolds to kill since we've already gone this far.
I'd argue this is a lost cause. We're down 2 members. We have well, yes, but we have our own obligations, and in the end, the town might just have to deal with this.
You're expecting them to deal with the situation that we further aggravated at the behest of you, and then we've gone
we
through this
further
much
aggravated. They knocked down a tower inside the city. It was aggravated as it's gonna get.
Well, coming
We've
in here,
invaded their lands as well. We've escalated the war. If we back out now, everything is on our hands. Everything is our fault.
Yes, and if we all die here, we lose not 1 town but 2.
If this town falls, what the fuck does Sandpoint going to do?
We'll figure that out when the time comes, but we don't have you already agreed that we're on a time crunch and we're losing
yes,
half our
party. Where you gave up halfway and the town suffered massive losses because of it. Every time you make a decision like this, masses of people suffer. We fight like this to put our lives on the line for these people.
I've made the decisions I've had to make
endangered,
given the situation.
Either you're willing to fight or you're not. Stop driving this half line because it just keeps making everything worse.
Unlike you, I have to take into account our situation. I'm not just going to blindly march forward. Let's send your wounded brother with our wounded compatriot with the non-fighting kobold back to our only escape route, while we, the greatly diminished fighting force, continue further into enemy territory.
Sounds crazy to me, Garlemon.
Either way, it's fucking crazy. We go back, we doom these people. We go forward, there's a chance.
Well, and sometimes that's just gotta be their problem.
I'd rather be crazy alive than crazy dead.
You're both fucking cowards.
We made our effort, but we have other obligations.
You didn't make your effort.
Well, what the hell are we standing here for?
The wind blows as Marius No Man's son begins to speak.
It's fine. It's all good. I'm just saying, it's just, we've marched this far. We took that risk. We we were going in with a cobbled together plan with this green kobold here to potentially create a civil unrest that could put us in a position to single combat their leader for whatever reason, because that's where we were. That is what we were doing. That is why we marched this far and put ourselves in this kind of danger, fought these blooded kobolds and this serpentine monster not too far back. The fact that we took on this role to better the town, right? And we tried to think it through, and we went in half-cocked, and this has put everybody at risk, in danger, and now afflicted with the plague. We don't know if Gene is now an incubator. He's not going to come with us. What are we going to do when he eventually has these signs, when he goes back to his hometown and his family? What if there is an actual cure at the camp that's ahead of us. What do we do? Like, in the end, we took this on, and it's our fault now if we fail or choose to leave. And we put this new town at risk because of the folly of our actions, because we got too big of ourselves. We could have denied them back then when they asked us for help and carried on with their other missions. So we chose to stand here in this swamp and fight to try and make it better for everyone else. And now, because of what we chose to do and are assuming to do now, is make it worse. We can take our wounded with us. We can march forward. We can still try and maybe get a charismatic win out of this. Push an uprising. Maybe push out the other kobolds who have enslaved the green ones. Otherwise, we've literally doomed the town on something we weren't prepared for.
I don't know everything that's happened before, but I'm not going to live with a doomed town on my conscience.
I can carry Yuri. We can keep on trying. But yes, I understand you've been hurt and you're wounded right now, Aloysius, and we do have medicine and healing that is still able to help you. And that's also what we're fighting against, is to stop the doomed towns, because it's going to be a doomed countryside in a near future.
Here you go. Sorry. And I'll give you a greater potion of cure moderate wounds. I'm a potion of cure moderate wounds, my bad. I'll roll it now for you. You got a total of 12 healing to you.
Oh, thank you. Much better.
But yeah, if we go back now, we're still potentially bringing 2 plague bearers back. Regardless. If Yuri touches that town, who knows? An outbreak will happen. Jean might be, again, sick as well. Hell, we all could be carrying it right now. We were all fighting the same things. We've all been bitten and scratched and touched by these creatures. Hell, it could even be incubating in this swamp. The Hydra carried it. Who says it isn't transferred through water?
Then why would we be wading through this swamp?
Because we didn't think about it.
It's too
Till
late
now.
to go fucking back.
Right? We didn't think about that till now. I'm just trying to make sense of this, because if we go back, it might not be the kobolds that dooms the town. It could be us, because we're all afflicted.
Okay. We don't have to send my brother back or Jean, but we do have to continue on.
If you would like to, I will give you time right now to use a survival check. If you want to start taking some of these branches and stuff and make like a little sled or something to take Yuri on.
Who do we have that's actually good at that? Is that you, Marius?
I have survival.
Damn! Wow, that's a great roll. For some reason,
I'll also assist.
just roll your d20.
I did not assist.
Okay, you did not assist. Bella, actually, this is what happens. You try to, but you're so frankly upset with the state of your brother that you interfere. But nevertheless, Aloysius comes through, and being a crafty gnome that he is, takes some twigs, some old leather that you got from fallen kobolds, cloths, and puts together a sled that Marius can use to tote the comatose Yuri behind.
Well, that'll pull him, but I don't know if it's a good idea.
We're unfortunately strapped in a rock and a hard place right now. The only way out is through. If we
Yeah.
if we go back, we could just be bringing the doom in one of many different flavors now. Hell, we couldn't even risk going back to Sandpoint without knowing if we're afflicted or not, right?
Yeah. Who else still needs healing? Hello?
I don't know. I'm good.
No, like, are you full health?
No.
We still have
Then
the
you still
wand.
need healing.
Oh yeah, if you well, I mean, if you can top me all the way up.
Take 6. Are you good now?
Yeah, 6 is plenty.
Alright, the other 6 is going into Marius, because I know Marius got hit at least once.
I could use at least one more.
Alright, I'll give you one more. 7 into you. As I just take out the wand of cure light wounds and I just like start touching up everyone else's wounds.
Are you
Garlemon,
please keep
do
track of
you
that.
need healing? I will.
Yeah.
Garlemon, do you need healing?
Oh, I'm fine.
Okay, cool beans. That's 3 total charges then, if everyone's good. We have a total of 25 charges left. Alright. Do we want to start following these tracks while carrying Yuri?
Well, I'll pull him with the sled, and I'll take point and lead the way through what I found, pointing out the traps and stuff along the way.
You get there. Everyone make perception checks. You're trudging through the swamp. The insects, the buzzing, you're hitting your back. You're popping your arms, your sides. As you get deeper in, it seems the insects are larger. The flora and fauna is getting larger too. Like you're actually starting to breathe easier. It's like there's more air in the air. There's more oxygen in the air, even though you don't know what oxygen is. Um,
Mhm.
but
Oh, Bella does.
um, you're you're starting to get out of the swamp and on this road. For once, you're dry. You're not, the damp from the rain and from the muck from under your shoes. You can still hear a slight squeak and slosh of filth and grime in your boots, but you're not being bogged down. Your calves can breathe for once. Your feet aren't as sore. They're sore, but the tug isn't there. The suction and the noise that your shoes make as you dip into the mud and come up. You can walk easily. And it seems like this road is a bit of an outlier for the area. What once seemed to be like a makeshift road of imagine if debris was just thrown from sandbars into one area to make like something that you could kind of get your footing, now has turned into an all-out road for you to actually sit down on and to take a rest. The party does rest a little bit. Aloysius notices something a little familiar. Excuse me, unfamiliar for this area. He sees an otter in the middle of the swamp.
I'm going to check it out and point it out to the group.
Um, can I roll like a knowledge nature check to identify
Hey
what type
guys,
of
look at
otter?
that cute little otter.
What does your knowledge nature want to know about this otter? I mean, what are some things you're looking for?
Basically, is it native to the area? And if not, is there like a reason why it would have came here? Like a migration pattern, like some sort of like shellfish or whatever?
I can tell you No, I can tell you, it is not native here. This is not a migration pattern, and we haven't seen any mollusk or anything that the otter eats so far.
Would I, just for knowledge nature, would it be possible to identify the difference between, say, a river otter and a ocean otter? And is it either or?
Yeah, that's a good one too.
It is a well, yes, roll your nature check.
Cool.
Mm. An otter's an otter to you, Marius.
Okay.
Is it an otter of average size, or does it look smaller or bigger or strange in any way?
It looks more slender, more athletic looking. You can see its muscles.
Oh man, this otter is jacked. He must be swimming through some thick mud or something, maybe?
So you speak Gnomish, right? Yeah. I'm gonna speak to you in Gnomish.
I am a gnome.
That might be a familiar. Did you prep any sort of like identifying thing so you can attempt to understand them?
Yeah, I've got an idea.
Does it involve shooting it with arrows?
No, this is my idea.
Oh, okay, cool.
No arrows involved. I'm going to use gnome magic, speak with animals, and talk to it.
Right,
Say, hey, otter.
as you approach the otter, you get a hiss. Roll your. Would speak animal? Is it diplomacy, or do you set the roll a wild empathy check?
So if he's speaking to it, what is it? It's the cantrip or an actual spell that you speak to it in its language, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So-
it's like a cantrip spell, I think. It's just for gnomes.
I would consider it, if he's trying to change the attitude, I would refer to it as a wild empathy check. So what is
Handle
that?
animal?
Handle animal.
Yeah, handle
Alright.
Aloysius. Aloysius, do you have handle animal?
No, I've got. Geez, nothing much that could help me.
Well, what is it? Handle animal is what is it? Is it charisma or wisdom?
Charisma.
Yeah, I would just you should still be able to at least roll on it.
I mean,
I can talk to him. Whether he answers me is a different story.
He just hisses at you.
This otter seems like a jerk.
I will repeat in Gnomish. I'm pretty sure it's like not really an otter, or it's like a familiar of some sort. Otherwise, it has no reason to be here.
Okay, since Bella told me that, I want to use my gnomish to, like, I can do something with illusions, right? Like gnomes are good at not being fooled by illusions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Is that
familiars-
like a save I can make to see if it's fake?
Familiars aren't illusions. I think we can roll Knowledge Arcana to identify it as one.
You could do knowledge arcana.
I will also attempt to do that. Then.
It is not fake. It is
Alright.
not fake.
Looks like a real otter to me.
No. You hungry?
Is it just like bobbing there looking at us, looking at it, or?
No, it's like on the side of the road, and you can tell that it's limping.
It is limping. I want to try to catch it.
Okay, so you run up to this otter and roll a touch attack or grapple check. Hold up, let me get some battle music for this grappling this otter.
Why are you trying to grapple the otter?
I'm just gonna go over and like pick it up.
Look, it's a decision, and I am, fully supportive.
Do that, or just watch it walk away.
I mean, it's an otter. Like,
But
Yeah.
why is it here?
But is it really an otter or an otter?
that was
I
terrible. That was terrible.
I couldn't identify it.
Okay, roll your grapple check. Aloysius. Are you going to relay the information that you think that it's a familiar to the party?
I don't know what languages, because I'm still convinced, and I don't know what languages everyone else knows that a kobold might not. I felt Gnomish was the safest, so I've been talking in Gnomish specifically. I don't know if everyone else got it though. So I was not going to relay that information yet.
Did you roll your check, Aloysius?
Yeah, did you get it? Hang on, I roll 20s. I think just.
No, I didn't roll. I don't see it, bro. I didn't see your,
I had a 15. 20.
That honestly should probably work.
No, so you meet it. You grab it. And it says, are you going to relate what the otter says to you? Or should I whisper it to you?
Whisper it to me.
Okay.
Says some really derogatory stuff about his mom.
Bruh, that'd be very rude.
Well, we've established it's a rude otter.
That's true. We have
A muscular rude otter.
Okay, that's what it says to you. The group hears this.
Oh, this is a bop.
Okay, I whispered something back to you. I'm
I
gonna
got you.
kind of to the otter. I'm holding a little kitten talking to it, kind of. Okay, I set it back on the ground.
So what happened there?
He's scared of the lizards.
You are cutting out way too much.
He thinks we're cold. He's scared of the lizards.
Okay. Why is he even here?
We didn't get that far.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Well, ask
Can-
him.
Give him food. You got something to eat?
I do.
Marius, reaches into a pouch here and he pulls out some of his trail ration and offers the jerky or whatever the protein is for the animal.
It eats it.
Can I use a heal check for an animal?
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, sorry, my character sheet is not up.
Okay, this roll. Is it working?
Yeah, did you get it?
Nah, what was it?
12.
Oh, yeah, for that one. Yeah, you just see that it has pierce marks in its thighs and abdomen. They look like little pierce marks. Looks like he's standing on his last leg, or last paw, excuse me.
Oh, poor little guy. I'm gonna just continue to feed it and tend to its wounds as best I can.
I just kind of look at Aloysius and say, maybe we can convince it to chill in the sled with Yuri here, because we should keep moving.
Tell it not to bite Yuri, though. I will kill it.
Well,
I'm like sort
ask
of
him not to bite Yuri. Don't put the part about killing him in there.
just cuddled up with the otter, kind of nuzzling it, talking to it.
Alright. That's interesting. Mara, should we
You see the
continue on?
otter hop around, and you see him start to limp forward, while looking back at you. He's about 10 feet in front of the group.
Let's follow this otter, guys. Just trust me.
So
Follow that otter.
you see a deviation in the road. One goes left and one goes right. The otter takes the right deviation. It continues on.
Okay.
You see
Alright. If this leads us into a trap, Aloysius, I get to tell you I told you so.
I think you'd say that anyway, but alright.
No, but I get to.
That's fair enough.
Oh, also, for your Splinter Cloud arrow, do you need more poison on that? I saw you missed it earlier.
Yes, sure.
Alright, bite my thumb, re-poison it. Alright, good to...
So as you continue on, you start to hear gibbers. You see in front of you a gnome body covered in blood. You see a kobold. Now this is about a couple of miles up the road. You've now traveled about 4 hours more. So let me write that time down. So 1 day in the swamp. We got 4 hours. Okay. You've now traveled 4 hours. You see another gnome. You see bushes here. The group quickly scurries behind the bushes. This is what the party sees. You see some black scaled kobolds, some green scaled kobolds. You also see something very unusual. You see a kobold that is majority of its green, but you see black scales. It seems like, picture this. If you could imagine a bit of black touching something and then spreading. You see that on one of the kobolds, on one of the dead kobolds.
How far away from this are we?
Right in front of you.
Like, how close is right in front of me?
I don't know, 5 feet.
Okay.
You see the gnome bodies. Now you see some kobolds that are green. Make a perception check. Let's see that. You see a group of kobolds there. You see two. They're very frail and weak, green ones. You see a very old kobold. A very, very old kobold there. You see the old kobold barely able to walk with like a type of cane of some sort. And they are walking and looking at the bodies. You see them drag the bodies, the gnome bodies, to the edge of the road, and you see them take stones and material and start to place the stones and like leaf matter and branches over both gnomes and the kobolds. and they're starting to like clean up the area. And that's what you see, and you see them cleaning up the area, taking the kobolds and laying them right even beside the gnomes, and
Can I roll a sense motive on this? Like trying to tell whether this is like out of respect or out of just like wanting to hide it?
oh man, that's a
Pretty sure that'd
hard.
be closer to knowledge local, because that's about how kobolds do things rather than like their specific intentions.
Well, I mean, it's literally the specific attention. Like I don't know, like traditions or
Does it look
something.
ceremonial or like they're trying to hide bodies?
Look,
Yeah.
yeah, that would be local. He is right. Do local. Do a knowledge local check.
I can't
Does anybody have
higher
local?
than 10. No. Like telling whether someone's
Does anybody have
digging
local?
a corpse to hide a body and then doing ceremonies for like burying people are two very different things.
Well,
But
Yes, but they're still relevant to how kobolds do things.
it's
Well,
is it though? Like
Marius.
it's not
Yes,
like I need to know their exact ritual, but I need to know like they're hiding bodies
because
versus
but
they're doing
sense motive
something
isn't
else.
isn't mind reading.
Marius,
It's
what did you say,
not mind
Marius?
reading.
I was going to mention that didn't the kobolds and the gnomes have a bit of a standoff pact, or a non-aggression pact at least, before the black scale kobolds came in?
They did.
So I'm assuming we're seeing an elder green kobold with a small entourage putting both the kobolds and the gnomes to rest. That is what I'm interpreting.
Okay.
So as of someone who has knowledge religion and stuff like that, would the movements that they're doing, is there anything religious or repetitious about them that would seem sort of like a religious or a form of like burial rite?
You do know, man. Oh man, this is.
Do you want me to roll for that?
Yeah, just roll for it before I give you anything. If you roll well, I'll give you something. If you roll boo boo, I'll just say yeah.
Pretty.
It doesn't. You don't notice anything religious about it. You just know, and at the end of the day, out of character.
Mhm.
You know, I'm gonna make a point. You can't take what I'm about to say advantage of it. Does everyone understand that?
Sure.
Sure.
I'd never seen a vampire before in my life. If they are real, everything I've seen in the books may be false. Everything in the movies may be false, but I at least have a basis of understanding on how to kill that vampire. But everyone
Yeah.
agree with that?
Yeah, sure.
Yes.
Okay. Vampires exist in this world, so I'm assuming that the average person would know at least what I know. I would say the same could be said about a kobold in this instance. A little bit about this. Um, so
Ensuring
so
undead.
you know that this is peculiar,
Okay.
and you also know. I will take a knowledge local check for one reason. Somebody can consent. Does anybody have knowledge local? Nobody has it.
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Nope.
I'll give you a perception check then. A new perception check. Okay. Bella, you do. I will give Bella this information. You do know, from this distance, that those kobolds are smaller than the smallest kobold you've seen. Excuse me. Is lighter or thinner. There we go. It's thinner than any kobold you've seen.
And what about like the black ones of the group? Because you said there were a couple, and there was one that's half.
On the ground.
Oh, they're the dead ones.
Yes.
Okay.
You
I
have
thought you meant like they
two
were
frail
in
ones
front of us.
that are green. You have an older green one that is extremely light skinned. the lightest color green you can think of. What's a light green?
Oh god.
I like this color right here. Oh, let's see, this loads. I like this color. What is this? Cream, light green, and cream. I don't know. Whatever. Let me send y'all. Pale spring bud. Pale spring bud from Loads, everyone. Let's go ahead and put that in chat. Everyone, it is becoming fall. Loads had some great deals for paints. Check these out to redesign your home. And this is not a paid program from Loads, everyone. Anyways, that's what you see right there. Pale spring bud. Here's the link. It's the middle one.
So just as like coming to an assertion of what we're about to do, I look over. I'm assuming it was Bella who was capable of talking to our kobold friend before. Maybe
Yeah.
he might know who they are. Maybe he might be able to give us. This might be part of the interactions we need to move forward into the camp with more success, given these look like elders.
They also don't seem that hostile. So I will stand up from the bush, which isn't very far above it. Walk forward and say, "Alright, hands up where I can see them, please. Don't want to fight. Just want to protect myself."
Um, the two kobolds with their little spears that is made of wood and it looks like rock start to shake. The kobold, the older one that stayed with a stick, doesn't do anything. You see that kobold still because that kobold's back is turned to you, and you see that kobold start to look. He's still looking at the bodies on the ground. He's going by and inspecting each body.
And I'm speaking Draconic to them,
Okay.
by the way.
And you see one of the kobolds try to say something to the older one, and the older one takes his hand and like swats that kobold away as they're looking on the ground. As this one continues to look on the ground.
Mm-hmm. Hello? Elder Kobold person.
At this point, the kobold has walked past the one and has left the two in front of it. So imagine this: the older one was kind of closer to you, checking out the bodies. The other one was in the back. Picture this now. They kind of got scared. Now the older one has moved behind the two, with its back still turned to you, looking on the bodies at the ground.
Do you perhaps have a problem with a dragon corrupting your tribe?
The two kobolds are still like shaking. They look at each other kind of bewildered. The older one still does not respond to you.
Hello, I need something to move on from this. Like, we are currently trying to make sure that the fragile peace between you and the gnomish town below exists. If you ignore us, I can't, like, nothing good will happen. Just throw me a fucking leg, please. One person.
The um the kobolds, the two ones that's closer to you, they're shaking. They barely broken Draconic. They don't even seem like they even speak their own language barely yet. Common anything. They say the mean big black dragon kicked us out for being weak, enslaved us.
Yeah, we know we're here to free you and set order.
And you see the other kobolds still like on the ground. Excuse me, looking at bodies on the ground behind them.
Can you point us the way?
What do you mean? You're saying this to them?
Yeah? I mean, the Elder's not interacting. I can't do anything about that. So I'm asking the young ones.
I was going to interject. Maybe our kobold friend can help us in this situation. As I kind of stand up from the bush as well, or wherever we're hiding behind, and try and inflect that on that. And curious on how the otter's reacting.
Yeah, the otter is he's there with Aloysius. Aloysius had him. Um, and Aloysius, I'll just say this. Aloysius, he says that his master's on the ground in front of the kobold, the old kobold. The old kobold is walking towards his master.
Okay.
And he's about to walk up there.
That's why we was following the otter. We wanted to find his master. So
The master's on the ground. It had the master. You can't make out who it is. It does have like a green cloak, like pretty much covering the body. Looks like the cloak is too big for the person, actually. And you see the older kobold start to walk towards that body.
Has our kobold that's with us reacted in any way? Given the fact we're interacting with non-aggressive kobolds.
Yeah. Yes. He is very at ease. Like he's looking at you and looking at them. You see that he's trying to make his way, kinda. He doesn't know what to do. He doesn't know. His body language is very indecisive. He wants to. He doesn't know if he should leave you or not. I'll give you that hint.
Hey, no one's holding you captive at this point. We're just trying to help you be free of the fucking dragon currently pushing your own extinction.
And he says he thinks he said he trusts you, and thinks that you have his well-being at best. He said that's the he tells you that that's the an elder of the kobold tribe. She was inherited magical powers or sparkly powers given to her, and she talked to Old Chief a lot. Old Chief was Chief, but she talked to Old Chief a lot.
So is she the next in line of charge?
He said, yeah, she talked to Old Chief a lot. Chief would try to talk to her, but for some reason, she just never responded to Chief, just always talked to Chief. So Chief do what she say.
So what are we supposed to do?
Marius just kind of strokes his chin a bit. I didn't realize the kobolds may have been a bit of a matriarchy.
Well, every good civilization knows women should be in charge.
But maybe she has some sway in the community still, if we can convince her to help us.
And then that's when Bert tells you I have not seen her in many big moons. She when black scale kobolds come, she was exiled from tribe. She worships the moon is what he says.
Hey, lady, do you have any desire at all to help your tribe and be free of the black kobolds? At all? Any indication will help.
You see at that moment a movement in the master of the otter. The otter sees this movement and starts to take off to its master.
All right.
I'm going to continue watching the scene unfold from the safety of the bush.
So the as the kobold sees movement, let me get some random kobold names here. You hear the kobold, the elder kobold, say, "Iggy and Ziggy, get over here now." A draconic Bella. She yells it she yells it, Bella, but she doesn't yell it with intent of chaos. She yells it like this is her normal speaking voice.
Okay.
They get over there, and she's still talking to them, and they're like 3 inches away from her. She's still talking. She's still yelling at them like it's her normal speaking voice, and telling them to quickly help wrap her wounds, um, to take her back to their cave.
Do you need your wounds healed?
You see that this mysterious figure that's wrapped up in the cloak, um, the movement is subtle, but they don't seem like responsive. So Bella has said a lot. Does anybody else want to do anything in the situation?
Well, given I've made myself aware and kind of pushed Brooke or Brock forward, do I notice the otter trying to hobble forward?
Yes, the otter's trying to hobble forward.
I'm going to attempt to gingerly pick it up and look at Bella. Are we providing aid? What is going on?
I have no fucking clue. They won't talk to me.
So, I guess
Two kobolds talk to you, Bella.
Yeah, but they didn't say anything like worthwhile. Like they didn't point me in a direction. They didn't say anything. The only one that said anything was the old lady saying, "Let's go back to our cave," which I guess we could follow them to do that, but they've made no indication that they want to interact with us.
What would you like to do, Marius?
Well, Marius is gonna, given they haven't run away or been aggressive, is going to move towards where the commotion is. Obviously, where what seemed to be where the otter was trying to limp towards, and I'm just going to, I guess, keep a safe distance away from them to give them space to move, but just out of, I guess, blatant curiosity. And the not so obvious, I guess, sled still following me as I move.
You see these kobolds are really weak and frail, bro. They're having a hard time. You see that they haven't cleared all the bodies yet. You see they've cleared some. There was a little skirmish that went down right here. You see it. I mean, you notice about 6 known bodies, bro, and then you see about 10 to 11 kobold bodies here. So you see a major skirmish that went
This
down
must
here.
have been pretty recent if the one gnome is still alive.
And you also see the kobold struggling to even move. Like you hear the old person speaking to them. To you, it sounds like yelling to get a move on, to hurry, quit being. You see her to put some ump in your step and things like that.
Well, I can interpret urgency for sure, but I don't understand what they're saying. I'm still kind of at a loss of what they're trying to do, but I am just, I guess, within the vicinity, also trying to, I guess, keep the otter from face planting out of my hands as it's trying to get
And
to
the
its
otter's
weapon.
trying to. The otter's trying. And Robert, you hear, excuse me, Aloysius, you hear the otter saying, "Put me down. My master's there. I want to get to my master." But all you hear is hisses, Marius. Let me get a hiss. Let me get a hiss.
And I am, for lack of a better term, mindlessly rotating my arms so it's continuously attempting to crawl over them without getting any traction or moving forward. Again, trying to be as non-aggressive as possible as this otter is hissing at me in frustration.
At this moment, the two kobolds kind of just put their hands. They kind of slump over. You can see that they're exhausted. You see sweat starting to bead down their face. You see their knees wobble and shake. It seems like they're trying to bench press a max, and they've actually just ran a marathon as their feet give out from under them. And you still hear the words of urgency being spoke. And now she's hitting them with a stick. Not hard, though.
Marius looks back at a loss to Bella, given she is the only way you can understand this.
I'm going to continuing in the bush. I want to roll a perception check and look at the master gnome that's on the ground.
You see a bit of red hair and freckles.
I'd like to go over there and check them out, but I don't want to be looked at by the... I'm going to go over and, I guess, check out the master that's on the ground.
Okay, so you say something to the master. The old kobold looks at you, startled, and says something to you in Draconic.
I'm just going to look at him, kind of puzzled.
But she said it very loud in your face.
Yeah, what does she say? I don't think Aloysius knows Draconic.
She says, "Are you a comrade of this one?"
I'll convey the message. Just assume that I'm conveying the message from now on.
Okay.
Can I tell if the master is definitely gnome?
Yeah, the master's gnome.
I'm just going to sort of kneel down next to him and shake my head yes.
She said, you shake your head yes. The older kobold says, "Well, why don't," and yells it to you, "Why don't you help get her to the cave so I can help treat her wounds?"
Yeah, I guess if Bella translates that, I would definitely help.
She'll translate it very, very annoyedly.
Okay. As you say something to her, so you're saying something to her, okay, so she says that, and then Aloysius says something to Bella, but this older gnome, this older kobold, is looking at Aloysius. And the older kobold tells you, Aloysius, or says this to you in Draconic anyway, says, because that's not going to work for this, so anyway, says, yells at you again, and says, "Repeat that for me, please," in Draconic.
It's a fellow gnome. It's a brotherhood.
So you speak that to Bella, who then speaks Draconic to the older kobold.
Yes, I'm sort of...
The older kobold sees you're moving your lips again, and tells you, He yells at you to speak up.
So, as Marius is watching this farce manifest before him, he's going to let the otter down and reach down and gingerly pick up the gnome. And I guess if we can make room in the sled to place them with Yuri.
Okay, so you do that, and the kobold looks around and sees a party behind, and says, "How?" And yells, "How long have y'all been there?" I don't you understand this, Bella. Hello, Allo, can you hear me?
Did you hear me?
I didn't hear you. What'd you say?
I said the whole time.
See, Sejan says, "What did you say? Can you come a little closer?"
Sure. I get a little closer, and then I just like scream as loud as I can into her face. Can you hear me now? Because I'm not gonna scream, actually.
She says, she replies about you draconic. She says, "Yeah, I hear you now. Why are you yelling at me?"
Bella goes really quiet and just turns and will say in common, I really just hate everything about this. Then we'll turn back and say in Draconic, we're here to solve your dragon problem if you want to fucking help.
Uh, the elder kobold looks at you and says, "What?"
I'm saying, I'm still screaming this directly in her face. Please. Please, DM. This isn't fun. This isn't funny.
So
I'm having a great time right now.
as you're getting frustrated with this old ragged we'll call her a grayscale at this point because she's ancient. I look down at Bella and I'm like, can you tell the two shivering kobolds that are exhausted that I'll carry them, and if we can get this old lizard here to guide us to wherever this cave is.
Sure. We'll do that.
Because I think yelling out here in Draconic is probably not the best for anybody.
I hate it so much, Marius. So much do I
I
hate
am
this.
sorry your limits are being tested, but this is what we have to do.
Okay, guys, put your person on the new map, please, for me, please.
Is there a spot we're supposed to put them?
I mean, can you not see?
No, the whole
I
thing's
don't see
black.
anything.
What? Why is that? Why is it black? It should be eliminated. Let me just, can I take it off then? Is that better?
I can't see anything.
No
I think I
change.
dragged Marius over.
Um, okay. Let's get some light then.
That also might be it too.
I'm a little rusty, guys. We haven't played in a moment. Let's take that dynamic
No, it's all
lighting
good.
off. Is that right? Can you see it now?
Yep.
Yeah, I can see everybody.
Put your map, put it down here at the beginning, and we'll walk through. You know how to walk through.
I've got two Mariuses on here, so.
Okay.
I'm
Okay, guys, sorry. I can get this. Here we go. So, you start to hear a little bit of a stream as you walk into this beautiful cave. You see fluorescent lighting as strange mushrooms and whatever plant this is glowing. You see two kobolds here. They kind of look at you bewildered. Again, they look emaciated. I'm going to use this one as the... I'm going to use this one just as the stand-in. You can follow this one to the middle. These are your kobolds that are small and emaciated. That you were there, Marius. Then this one, this is the way I'm going to use it, and you walk, so the group can walk and follow her.
Got those classy 3.5 kobolds in there. Yeah.
She says, quickly hurry, and you come here, you come down. You see that as you came in, you can tell that this was very well hidden.
Okay.
Or this cave was, at least. The kobolds had many logs and foliage over the entrance. So it just looked like a part of, like, the canopy.
Okay.
Aloysius, as you see the otter grab onto her master as Marius puts him down. This gnome has a fresh scar over her eye, which you see in the picture, as the kobold removes her cloak to reveal this face.
Does it look familiar? Do I know them? Okay.
She gives you the impression, if you've seen the Disney movie, of the main character in Brave.
Right.
You see this older kobold kind of grab some water from the stream and tilt the head up and gives her some of the water. You see her give orders, which I'm going to assume that Bella just translates.
Yeah, just assume that I'm
yes,
translating from
translating.
now on.
And tells the other kobolds to get some herbs as they scatter about, pulling herbs and mending her wounds. You hear her say, in a couple hours rest, she'll be healed. She looks to your group and says, and asks if anybody needs any assistance or any wounds as well.
I'm gonna... Maybe we can ask if they know anything about the illness that Yuri has. Maybe they have a means of treating it. I'm going to assume that I've put down the other two kobolds that I was carrying in the process.
Okay, those kobolds kind of gather their strength and immediately kind of get over to the water and kind of relax.
I'm assuming Brock is familiar with this group, or at least some of the denizens in here too.
Yeah, Burke, he tells you, he says that these are some of the weaker kobolds of the tribe. They have been, in a treaty with the gnomes, the hidden gnome village here in the woods, and the human settlers of pale skins. But at this moment, I think he would say, he's only been here for a day. Pink skins. He would say pink skins across the big water. he says these are probably outcasts that were not strong enough in the tribe and left before they were killed.
Okay. Um. All right. Yeah. So I'm going to again try and convey that I guess Jean and Yuri here are sick or injured, and if they can help them, that would be fantastic.
Bella is again yelling at her. Um, she sees and looks at Yuri first and says, "This is something new that she's seen." She said that she's seen some of the weaker, and you start to see once Yuri comes in that all the other kobolds move themselves away from Yuri. They are scared of Yuri.
Understandable.
And says that this is what one of the how would you say? How would you say elementalists or a naturalist or something like that? I don't know what he would call that, but an evil goer from the black scaled tribe brought something in a vial that was very viscous and very viscous and thick and white. I've never seen any substance like it, and it was he was with a small green creature that he would call he said small green creature with pointy ears and a big face and oversized head um, brought this here, and the weaker kobolds were force-fed this and made stronger, and those that were not turned into beasts and monsters looked like your comrade here, and then eventually died.
I just kind of, in short, relay that my village has also been struck by an illness similar to this, probably from a source similar to what you've been going through. We're trying to solve where this came from and put an end to it so it doesn't kill any more people, kobolds, gnomes, or anyone else.
She relays a message back and tells you, well, the source would be what would she say? She would tell you that everything was how do I kobold? You know, she is older. She would say, I had the ear of our old master. Before he came to our village or tribe, you could say, we had forged, or not, had a treaty with the humans, but it was, or the gnomes, she would say humans or gnomes, the village, and the gnomes. It was very loose. They didn't come on our land, we didn't go on theirs. But when our new master came, he told us to call him Anakin, A-N-K-I-N. Bella, you translate this to teacher in common. That's what she tells you that he wanted her to call him. He says he seemed like he had little or no interest with the tribe, but he did rule the tribe. He was stopping and whatnot, and the weaker kobolds, green kobolds, worshipped him. And she tells you that Anakin's the one that persuaded, or demanded rather, that the tribe seek peace between the gnomes and the human settlement. That he had knowledge to gain from both of them.
So what I'm getting from this is he's worked his way in, pushed the old chieftain out, used his power to garner a no violence treaty, and then worked under that to do what he's done so far.
So that last part again?
So he used his position, so he pushed himself forward, the teacher pushed himself forward to create, or to become chieftain, to be able to create treaties of nonviolence between all pinkskins. We'll just call it that right now, for the other races in the valley, so he can work what he's been doing in the shadows without problems, right? So the digging the hole and unintentionally bringing the tower down and stuff like that.
She says she knows of no tower. And she says Aiken disappeared.
Did someone replace him?
She says Aiken disappeared and then the black kobolds came into power.
So they built on what he just did to undermine everything the kobolds have been working forward to.
Yes. We have no idea. We had heard that there was an even powerful ruler of the black scales. There's rumor going around that Akin and the leader of the black scales battled and defeated Akin, and that he was even Akin's prisoner at one time, but Akin would manage to escape.
So you're saying your prior chieftain might still be in the hills or the forests around here?
We don't. That's just hearsay. Most green scales have done some type of ritual that's hard to change their scales black, and those are the most powerful ones. The greens that's converted.
Do you know if there'd be a way to convince those to go back to the old way instead of this route of violence and mutation?
She says I tried and I was pushed out. I'm not powerful enough. I'm only my own, and you see here I have this to tend to.
Well, we are seeking a resolution before it gets out of hand. We would very much like to see your people back where they deserve to be, in health and safety, instead of being in hiding and in the frailty that we found you in.
She says I would appreciate it as well. She also tells you that. Give me 1 second, guys. Sorry. That she has a daughter that is still in the main tribe's cave. She says that I'm sure that there are, with her help, she is a loyal green scale. That with her help, she may try to start a coalition. Before I was exiled, I urged her to just keep herself safe.
Do you feel she would be strong enough to help gather those under her? If she had support from us and if any of your able-bodied
Maybe, but she's
kobolds,
reckless.
that's that's fine. So are we.
I heard when she calls over to one of the other kobolds, but he won't come over. He's just hesitant. He says that he was here. Sadu was here exiled a week ago. He says that Nighttail is her name. Nighttail has been imprisoned and locked up for stepping out. I fear that her days could be numbered if she's not already been a sacrifice to this new god that, or new demon that the Black Skills are worshipping.
How did you guys get out of the camp? Were you let go or did you have to
Yes,
sneak out?
I was let go when our chief was still around.
If we could find a way to get into your your camp and maybe find your daughter and help her, we would very much like that.
She
we
says,
we don't want this violence to continue. Too many lives are being lost for absolutely no reason.
I agree. She says, I think that we need a closer bond between the gnome village and the human settlement across the lake. We have only been we've had a understanding or a treaty. But she says, I think it's time for us to come together to prevent things from like this happening in the future. She says, I do know of one human or pink skin. I know one human from the town has met with a kin before, but I've never seen it. A kin just told me that he had met with a human from the town before to speak about what lies beneath this planet. And she says planet. Or lies beyond this planet. She says a kin will start to tell me about the stars. He loves the stars. He would go on hours about how they're all connected.
I'm concerned that that friend may have passed. We had a man of great knowledge in the tower that fell, and that may have been his ally or his friend. I hope not, but if we can get this fixed and finished and the mess out of the way, we could try and find a way to garner a better talking point between the kobolds and at least the village across the lake.
She says I agree. She tells you she has this. She says I can give you a little bit of this to help you sleep better. And she says I'm getting tired now. I suggest that you and your group take a rest and heal your wounds, and maybe we can give you some supplies to set you back in the right direction.
That would be most helpful. Most of us are weary from travel so far.
Does anyone need to be topped up before we take a long rest?
No, just a long rest would be great.
Okay.
And at that time, the party starts to everyone go over to where you're gonna be sleeping at. Put a campfire and some food and stuff. I'll just put everything in here. How about that? At that time, the group starts to make camp. Food is brought out to the party. It's very sparse. It's really just some berries at this point. It's just berries and some bits of mushroom. and the elder tells you she's sorry she doesn't have anything else to offer the party, and due to them having sparse supplies as is. And this is a large cave, and the group falls asleep to the sounds of rumbling stomachs throughout the cave. And that's what I'm going to end my session at tonight, guys.
All right.
Alright.
Thank everyone for getting the campaign started back off. I know we took a long break. I also want to thank the person who made this map. I've got to give it up. I cut the name off, but here we go. Let's get DM20 DR map Z0. I believe.
Is that the cave map? The cave
Yeah.
map was awesome.
Yeah, Z0 or ZO. Anyway, I want to give this person a shout out. They have a Patreon here that's linked. I'm going to make sure I put it in the description. Please give this person support because this map is sick, as you can see. Beautiful, well illustrated. Anyways, thank you for the viewers. We're going to should be playing bi-weekly now and get the campaign started back up. We may miss a week or two here or there for stuff because I am currently a full-time nursing student. But besides that, thank you for watching. Everyone have a good evening.